Hello, welcome to this live stream. If you are watching this live, let me know in the comments if you can properly see me and hear me. So this is really exciting. I'm actually really excited about this session. If you've been following me for a while or have been part of this group for a while, you might know that I have hosted a ton of these sessions. But none for a really long time. So this is really exciting. I have moved. I have a new video and streaming room here. So this is actually the first session we're hosting here. So really, really excited to have you here. We will dive into the content in just a minute, but we have a short video delay. So I will allow all the others to join us so that they can have one more minute to find the stream. In the meantime, let me know in the comments if this is the first time you are joining one of my live trainings or Q&A sessions. I know that we have a ton of new members here. That's why I will also briefly introduce myself in case you don't know me and you are asking yourself who the hell this girl is and what the hell she's going to tell you. So my name is Sinem. I am the founder and admin of this group and of the Medium Writing Academy. I don't know if it's interesting for everyone. I believe it's inspiring. I have an inspiring background story on Medium and in my entrepreneurial journey overall. So I started writing on Medium in 2018. I failed for a really long time. I've written more than 150 articles without actually knowing what I was doing or without seeing the rewards. And at some point I had one article that did slightly well, and I realized that this is what I really wanted to do. So I went all in, and within a really short amount of time, I managed to turn the game upside down, managed to make up to more than $10,000 in a single month, created this community where we have helped hundreds of aspiring writers and actually, in the meantime, very successful writers to grow their writing business as well. All right, perfect. So I am already seeing your comments. You can see me, you can hear me perfect. For some of you, I can see your name. So Zafar, I can see your name. Hi, and welcome to the session. If you have not granted StreamYard permission, I will not see your name here. So it just says Facebook user. So we have one first time, another first time, perfect. So I will put my slides up here because I've made a bunch of notes so that I don't waste any of your time. Perfect. Let me know if you can see my slides. Hi, Anna. Great to have you in one of my sessions as well. So nice. So what we're going to talk about today is the Medium updates, changes, however you might want to call them. I feel like Medium has been changing ever since I started writing on the platform, but to be honest, and I don't know if that's my perception, but I feel like in the past, let's say 3 months, a lot has happened within a really short time. We had these bonus payments, which were like, kind of a crazy thing. And then they have constantly been introducing new features, which is a cool thing. So if a platform is introducing new features, it's actually never a bad thing. But it can be confusing, right? And the goal of this session is to give you a bit of an insight on what really changed. Because, let me be straight up honest, not that much, actually. And there's not that much that you should be doing differently, if you ask me. There's not much that I will be doing differently. But it's still nice to understand why they might be doing certain things and how you can use them to your advantage as a writer. I will try to keep this really short so that we also have some time for questions at the end of the session. But if you have any questions during the session, just drop them in the comments section, and I will get back to them at the end. All right. So very quickly, what we will cover is basically the kinds of changes that happened. I picked 3 that I think are the most significant for now. If you have any other changes in mind that you want me to discuss here, just drop them in the comments section. We'll briefly talk about how the changes affect readers and writers. So also what does that mean for your readers? Unfortunately, not much has changed for the reader side, actually. I don't know if that's unfortunate. Maybe it's a good thing. and how you can stay focused on your goals and keep doing what's right without going crazy because of the changes. All right, let's dive straight into the first one. Probably a painful one. I believe this was actually the last announcement they made, right? So you are now able to earn from referrals on Medium, which means if you refer a reader to Medium, you will get lifetime referral payments of their $5 subscription payment, which is a really cool idea, first of all. It's really nice. It shows us as writers that they are into growth, that they want more readers on the platform. And I know that there's been a bunch of confusion because a lot of writers thought that this might actually decrease their earnings. Well, that's not true, because everyone who is already on the platform is not going to change, or their payments are not going to change, or their membership fee is going to be split up exactly the same way. This is all about new people, right? So everybody has now a separate referral link where you can, at the end of your article, you can have a call to action and say, if you enjoyed this, subscribe to Medium for $5 per month so you can see more of my content or other people's content. This is a really nice idea. The problem is that it likely won't have any effect on your earnings at all. You get $250 per referred reader, which is actually really nice. This is per month, as long as they pay, right? This is actually really nice. The problem is that you will not, and I don't say this to discourage you, it's just my opinion, but also what I experienced myself as somebody who actually has a really huge audience. It's gonna be really hard to convert so many people that this is going to be a significant income source. And the whole message here is actually, as I said, not to discourage you, but it's a nice idea. It's a nice sign. It shows us that Medium is into growing the reader base, which is the best news that can possibly be out there for us as writers. But it's not going to be the main driver for your income. So don't expect these referral payments to make up a huge percentage of your overall earnings. As I said, it's just going to be really hard to convert people. And that's not even your fault. The problem is this page that Medium, expects us to promote. So it is a really nice idea. The problem is that the conversion rates will be very low, because imagine, as someone who is on Medium for the very first time, a reader who has not been on Medium, they read one story, they might really enjoy the story, but at the end of the story, they have this banner, like the screenshot that I have here. Read every story from Sinem Günel and thousands of other writers on Medium. This is not really convincing. If I'm brand new to Medium and I've read one nice story, this is not going to convince me to pay $5 per month. And I know that $5 per month are not a lot, but trust me, if it's about online sales and making money online, it doesn't matter whether it's $5 or $50 or $500. You need to convince the person to actually get their credit card up and enter their payment details. And that's $5 is enough to be kind of a roadblock if they don't understand what the value is going to be. And that's the problem. And as soon as somebody, they might have seen your story first, they might have seen your referral page first, but as soon as they, go away and browse through the internet, and then at some point, an hour later or a day later, they come to Medium and again, they read your stories, but they become a member through another link. That's not going to be your referral, which just makes it really confusing and hard. So long story in short, referrals are nice. It's a nice sign for all of us, but don't expect this to make a change in your earnings, like really not. The only way referrals would probably make a significant part of your income is if you refer writers. And that's like, it's still going to be really hard. Like it's not something to focus on. So the bottom line here is just, it's nice that they're doing it, but don't waste your time on it. All right, let's get to the second point. And this is also, I feel like all my points here sound a little bit discouraging and negative, which is actually not my usual type of content and not what I usually want to communicate. But I hope that this is actually going to encourage you to do more of the right things instead of kind of frustrating you. So another change that recently happened are email subscriptions. So I think that's actually been a few months ago when Medium introduced the opportunity to build your email list on Medium to get email subscribers, and you are even allowed to export this list of email subscribers, which is really nice. Again, a really nice feature. It shows us, and that's also what I learned from communicating with the Medium team, why they do these things is that they want to show you as a writer that they genuinely care. They want you to invest into the platform. They want you to know that Medium obviously wants you to succeed, because if you succeed, they succeed. But on the other side, they want you to have more stability and more ways of earning an income, which is really, really nice. And email subscriptions are a way for them to show us that they also want you to be on the platform and that it's worth it for you, even if you decide to leave Medium at some point, because you can export this list of email subscribers, right? And if you've been into online business for a while, you will know that your email list is the most valuable asset ever. Like, if there is one thing you learn from this training, it's go and start your email list. Like, seriously, if you're serious about making money online, whether it's about, your expertise, your experience, and an idea, a message that you want to share, or it's just about Medium, whatever it is, start an email list. There are really maybe one or two cases where an email list is not the best thing you could do, and these are very, very rare. So start your own email list. I'm using ConvertKit in case that's interesting for you. If you have not started yet, I love the tool. It's especially powerful if you want to sell products and services. And you have a free trial option, I think up to 1,000 subscribers or something, which is actually quite a lot. So ConvertKit is my favorite tool to use. So email subscription won't change your stats and earnings. So that was actually the point I wanted to make here. For those of you, if you're not familiar, email subscriptions is basically that a reader can subscribe to receive emails whenever you publish something. So that's a page that looks like this one. Get an email whenever Sinem Günel publishes. And then there is a button, I think, where you just have to click the button and you will always get email notifications when I publish a story. Again, this is actually really cool if a lot of people subscribe to this. The problem is that most people don't receive any emails from Medium. Most people don't want to receive emails. The second problem is that most people or most writers don't write about one niche only, even though that would be the best case. But for me, for example, I write about personal development, about business, and about writing. Business and writing can be related because I mostly write about business for writers. But if somebody reads my personal development articles and they subscribe and they receive an article about how to write well, they're going to be really confused or maybe annoyed. And they're going to unsubscribe, which is totally fair, and there's nothing to be mad about that. The other problem is that, again, this page is just really unsexy, right? Like, get an email whenever I publish. People who really like me and my writing and who have the time and the passion to read everything I write might click on that button, but it's not that many people. And I can tell that by the data I have till now, right? I think I have 100 email subscriptions now, and I don't promote this page because I don't see the value. And it might sound really valuable to have a lot of these email subscribers who immediately get notified if you publish a post. But here is why I'm so confident when I say that it's not going to change your stats or earnings, at least for right now. Like, this stream is happening on September 6, 2021. And right now I'm really confident in saying that it won't make a change, because I personally have an email list with 30,000 subscribers. And when I send an article to my email list, and I did this just to try it, right? When I send an article to my email list, I can get a few hundred clicks on an article really quickly, like within minutes of sending it out. And guess what happens when I do that? Nothing, like literally nothing. The external traffic that I drive to an article has zero impact. And it's not even external. These are like half of my list are Medium subscribers, approximately, or let's say 40%, probably minimum 40%. So I get a lot of clicks from Medium readers, and it has zero effect on the performance of the article, which is kind of sad because I wish it would be differently. I wish if, somebody had external traffic in an article, that it would kind of ping the algorithm and be kind of a trigger that, this article is also shown to more people internally, because, if something gets a lot of external attention, that probably means that it's also something that a lot of internal people should see, but it's not the case. And I am pretty confident that it's also not the case with those email subscriptions. Very nice idea, really cool. There's nothing wrong about it, but don't expect these email subscriptions to change anything in your stats or earnings. Focus on your own list. And this is really the key message here. Yeah, exactly. So focus on growing your own list. Even though you can export this list, the problem with this landing page here, get an email whenever Sinem publishes, is that it's not sexy. It's not appealing. It's not going to get a lot of people to click on this green button that's over there when it's the page of someone else. Instead, create your own email list. Have a very clear specific value proposition, have a freebie. So that's, something that you give away for free in exchange for people signing up to your email list. Give them something that actually matches the content you write about. So for example, if you're writing about productivity, give them something that's related to productivity and something that will help them to be even more productive after reading your article. This can be a checklist, it can be a cheat sheet, it can be a free short video or audio guide. It really can be anything. Just make it valuable, package it in a sexy way that it's really appealing to actually click on that link. That call to action at the end of your article shouldn't be more than 1 or 2 lines, so don't make it huge. And focus on that. Focus on growing your own list. That's literally your own asset. That's the biggest asset that you can have. At this point, so when I prepared this training, I was actually reflecting on all these changes and what they mean, and I read these official announcements again, etc. And to me, all of these are actually great signs. One little hint, in one of the announcements, Medium has actually written that they will be reviewing kind of the performance of one of those changes. I think it was actually the threshold of having 100 followers before you can monetize, or so that you can keep monetizing, but whatever. So they have this rule, or they have the ambition to review the changes every 6 months, which is a really good sign for us, because it means that they will hopefully at least be around for the next 6 months, which is probably going to be way more than that. So all these changes are great signs, because they mean that they want to encourage writers and they want to have more readers. My hope is that they are also going to do a lot more to get more readers on the platform, besides encouraging us to get more readers on the platform, because Medium as a platform obviously has way more power to bring people in. So let's hope that they are going to use this power and do whatever they can to bring more readers on the platform, so that these readers can actually consume our content. And even though that's all cool, and Medium is an amazing platform, and I will forever be grateful for its existence, I highly encourage you and recommend that you focus on building your own list. All right, so there's one quick question. Anna, I'm using ConvertKit. I will drop the link in the comments after the session. But yeah, it's ConvertKit. Okay, no other questions at this point. So let's move on so that I can quickly finish my few slides, and we can get into a short Q&A session here. The last point is actually probably wrapping it all up. Don't get distracted by features that won't help you achieve your goals. And the third feature or update that I picked is actually this list feature. And I talked about this with my with our students from the Freedom Business Accelerator a few weeks ago, where one of the questions was just, what shall I do with this lists feature? Shall I use it? Is it important? Is it relevant? And again, and probably way more than the first two, that's a really cute idea, but it will probably, it's not going to affect your earnings, your audience, how well you write, how good your content is, how many people will follow you. It's just really nice to have it there at this point, but it doesn't really add to anything. Like, if you have a specific goal and if you know why you're creating this list, go ahead and do it. It can be a great way to do research. It can be a great way to save different kinds of articles about different topics. It can be a nice way to, organize your reading list, etc. But don't allow changes and features like this one, to distract you and to make up, to waste the time you actually should be spending on writing. And this is one of the things I say over and over again, but after all these strategies and lessons and everything that I teach or other people teach about Medium or about writing, the only thing that will really bring you closer to your goals is writing. And with all these changes, updates, and additional features, it can actually become really hard to write more and focus on improving the writing. But that's really the only thing that will get you from A to B. And I have actually screenshotted one example of how I specifically used this feature. I don't know if you can see this, but you can zoom in otherwise, or just check on my profile. So I have created one list that basically says how to start and scale an online business. And I have put all my online business related articles into this list for a specific reason. First is that I am actually, this is my entire business. I want to help people to turn their writing into an online business. This is what I do. So it makes sense if people end up on my profile and they see this list and they can just, browse through a few articles that I've written to see if it resonates with them, if they want to learn more from you, etc. And the second reason was that I actually used this link in an email series where I introduce my subscribers to a bunch of articles, and then I say, if you want to learn more about it, here's where you can do that. Because I don't have a personal website, I don't need it. Doesn't mean that it's a bad idea. I personally just don't need it. But I just use this as a way to organize this specific content. I would probably do the same with articles about writing advice, again, because it makes sense for me, because that's, my entire business. That's what I do for a living. And you can do the same. If you have a specific niche, if you have, if it makes sense for you to organize your articles that way, do it. But also ask yourself what you're going to do with this page, because I am actually pretty sure that most people will not discover these lists at this point, actually. So maybe Medium is going to make a change and they are going to be more discoverable. But for now, the way they are positioned on our profiles, they're not really visible. They're not really easy to discover. So if you do that, and if you take the time to set this up, ask yourself why you're doing it and how you're going to use it. In my specific case, I send my email subscribers to this page, which makes sense because it's just a way to share more knowledge with the people who want to learn more. Okay, I think we're at the end of the 3 points. Yes, we are. But despite all of this, these are all good signs. And that's what I said at the beginning. I don't want this to sound like bad, or I don't want this to sound as if these are all unnecessary things. I just want you to focus on the essentials. And the number one essential is doing the writing, improving the writing, focusing on your message. Ask yourself what the value is that you're communicating, because at the end of the day, that's what's really going to move you forward on your journey on Medium. Not all these updates, not all the changes, not all the additional features. But it's just a really nice thing, in my opinion, to see that Medium and the Medium team behind the scenes is making an effort to improve, to be more discoverable for readers, to be more rewarding for writers. So let's take it as a positive sign that these changes happened. But don't get distracted by them. So at the end of the day, the advice that I would give on how to grow your audience, your following, your income on Medium honestly didn't change, because it's the same things that make up or that define whether a story is good or bad, even though it's really hard to define whether a story is good or bad. But in terms of Medium good or bad, whether a story is likely to perform well or not likely to perform well, these things didn't really change. And it's really hard to notice it if you are surrounded by all the noise and all the updates. So stay focused on the essentials. All right, let's see what else we have here. Oh yeah, one more bonus tip for those of you who are like super new to Medium. So there is this barrier now to getting to 100 followers to be accepted for monetization. And I think this was the thing they wanted to review every 6 months. But here is just a short message. Medium wants more writers who publish good content. This barrier is just really needed to make sure the quality is also on point, because if everybody would join and forever people could join Medium and publish crap and expect to get paid, this would actually turn into a horrible place in a few months or years. So it's actually good to have this barrier. It means for all of you who are watching this, actually, I'm pretty sure it's going to be really easy to get to these 100 followers by the time you need to have them. It's a nice sign, actually, that you need to make an effort. And I think it's always good to make an effort to achieve your goals, to achieve things that are worthwhile. So don't let this discourage you. If you publish valuable content, if you are reflective on your writing, and follow all the tips that people like myself or everyone else is sharing about how to succeed on Medium, you are going to get these 100 followers. This is not going to be the problem if you focus on creating good content. All right. Last few slides, what to do instead. So with all these changes, I said, they are nice, but they are probably not going to make a significant change, which is a good thing, right? Because it means that you don't actually constantly need to reinvent yourself and your writing. It's just that these are add-ons. Add-ons are always nice. You don't need to use them. But in my opinion, what you should do instead is focus on learning. So never stop learning. Focus on improving your writing skills. Ask yourself how your next story can be a little better than the last one. Also dig deeper into the content you are actually sharing. So if you're writing about relationship stuff, learn about relationships continuously. It's okay to share your own experience and expertise and the lessons you learned just through your own experience and the things you went through, but also have some solid points that actually give you more credibility. This is needed on Medium. Most of the articles that do really well have kind of a proof that what you're saying is actually solid and valid. So on top of having a writing routine, ask yourself how you can make sure that you constantly keep learning. Second part is study what works. This is something I've been saying over and over again, but you really don't need to reinvent the wheel. Everything that's needed to succeed on Medium has been done by a lot of people. You are not the first one trying to figure all the things out. If you're inside my Medium Writing Academy, you know exactly what I am doing, right? It is really easy to study my process and my structure, my formulas, and replicate them. Do that. Like, you are not the first one wanting to achieve those goals. You are not the first one who is trying to build an audience on Medium or who is trying to make money on Medium. A lot of people have done it before you, and the best advice is probably to look at what they have done, why it has worked for them, and how you can use their strategies. This is not about copying, don't get me wrong. Copying probably won't take you anywhere. You need to have your own spin and your own personality. But you also don't need to do something totally crazy. Like, look at what's there and what's been performing and ask yourself how you can use these things to add your own spin, but also not to waste a lot of time. So kind of finding that balance between being unique, but also following the footprints of those who are or who have been ahead of you. Value. This is so underrated. I see a lot of submissions in our group here of people who are like, my post is not getting enough traction, it's not getting views, it's not getting reads. If I look at the post, it doesn't deliver any value. And this is not the only thing. You can have a super valuable post and it might still not get views. Like, this is the harsh reality. But focus on giving value. It is kind of a hard time because, 5 years ago, you could have written an article on Medium and say, something like 5 things you should do every morning, or 5 things that should be part of your morning routine. Today, you're going to struggle with that kind of advice because it's overloaded. So many people have written the same article. You need to get a little creative. You need to add new spins, probably your own spin, your own personality, add a little more research. People want more. People want more than just the surface level. People want content that is thoughtful, educational, and entertaining. That's not easy. Like, I don't say it's easy. But I think it's also really fun from a writer's perspective, right? If you work for a goal and you know what you want to achieve, and it is not that easy to achieve, it's even more valuable once you have achieved it, and it's even more rewarding. So really ask yourself, am I giving my reader anything that's actually worth their time? Like, is it worth 5 minutes of their time to read this specific article? Keep in mind that people are actually paying to read your articles. They are paying the Medium subscription fee, and they are spending their time. So 2 pretty valuable resources that they are investing in order to see your content and read your content. So make sure it's worth their time and their money, because otherwise they're not going to stay on the article. I think that's the last point. Well, yeah, be so good they cannot ignore you. I hope that's kind of inspirational. It's one of those phrases that you've probably heard a lot, but honestly, if you are creating content that's better than the 90 or 95% that's on the platform, which is not hard. Like, most of the content on Medium is horrible. People don't know how to format their headlines. They have no idea how to write headlines. They write stories that are, full of mistakes, that are not valuable, that are just, fluff or diary entries, or just not worth reading, let's put it that way. So it's actually not hard to be, on top of Medium, because most people there don't take it seriously. It's not their full-time thing. It's not even their side thing. They just write random articles, they publish them, and it's easy to get intimidated. But the truth is, if you're serious about making this, your full-time thing, or even if you don't want to make it your full-time thing, but you just want to spread your message and grow your audience and connect with people who just resonate with your message, it's not that hard. And the truth is, it's not that hard because so many people have no idea what they're doing. So if you are watching the stream right now, that's actually a sign that you are one of the top few percentage of people who actually make an effort and who care about writing better, about understanding the platform, and about just becoming a better creator, writer, however you want to call yourself. So you're in a good way just by showing up here. That's something I know about you, even if we don't know each other. So keep doing what you've been doing, and focus on learning as much as you can along the way. Time for Q&A. So I tried to keep this short. It has still been 40 minutes. And now we'll spend a few minutes answering your questions in case you have any. So I cannot see questions yet, but I have a 10-second delay. So I will just wait for your questions for a minute so that we can actually make this as valuable as possible for all of you. All right, let me quickly scan. Okay, so somebody said Medium takes a lot from Newsbreak. I don't know what this exactly means, if you mean in terms of features, but I think this is actually a very normal thing because they are in the same industry, so they are learning from each other. They are, kind of trying to grow the industry together. So even though they are competitors, they have the aim to grow the whole, writer creator economy. So I think that's actually a normal thing, if that's what you meant. Okay, so there's one question about newsletters, my favorite topic. How can you build your newsletter? I haven't done anything so far. Currently, I have only 2 who subscribed on Medium. Considering I plan to self-publish my first novel in the near future, I'm sure it will come very handy. Very sure. So this is a very huge question. And Anna, there is actually at least one video at the very end of the Medium Writing Academy. So it's going to be after module 6. So I think you still have at least 4 weeks or so to go. So you'll also find some content there. But in a nutshell, growing your newsletter is about, first, you need to have a newsletter. That's the first step. But after that, it's all about a call to action. So we also call this CTA. So at the end of every article, you are able to add a short call to action where you basically say something like, if you enjoyed this, download my XYZ or subscribe to my newsletter. So whenever you have a download my XYZ, it's going to convert higher. So more people are going to subscribe because you are giving them something in exchange. But you can also just say, if you want to receive my latest updates, subscribe to my newsletter here. It's also totally fine. The conversion rate is going to be a bit lower, but that's the way it works on Medium. So at the end of every article, you can tell your readers to subscribe to your email list. I believe you can also do that with the Medium list, actually, so that you have your call to action there. If you are super new, and I know you're going through the Medium Writing Academy now, don't rush into it. Like, focus on learning Medium and learning how to navigate the platform. And once you're done with the academy, you can then ask yourself, how you want to grow your list and where you want to do it, and if there is a freebie you want to offer your subscribers, etc. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. You have an article. At the end of article, almost every publication allows you to have a call to action. This is the most important thing about Medium, actually, and it's so underrated. A lot of people don't understand it. Medium and the Medium Partner Program and the Medium earnings are really nice, but the fact that you can promote your newsletter is the most valuable thing about Medium, and that's what a lot of people just don't understand. The newsletter is how you gain freedom. The newsletter is how you can detach your income from a single platform, in that case being Medium. Again, I love Medium. My entire business has grown thanks to Medium, but I don't want to be dependent. Like, if Medium is gone next year, in 2 years, in 5 years, I won't care, because I have built a sustainable business that's going to be, alive and thriving, no matter if Medium is gone or not. But a lot of people won't, because they have built their business or their sole income on Medium, which is a really bad idea. Like, you want to start on Medium because it's really the easiest place to start with. But once you have grown your audience and been at a place where you feel comfortable and confident, outgrow Medium and make it your own thing. Build your own thing so that you don't have to care about any platform changes, algorithms, curators, etc. Starting on Medium is great, and it's important to start somewhere, and you should never try to start at different places at the same time. And if you're brand new on Medium, I recommend that you start your email list as soon as possible. But if you have a lot of other responsibilities, if you have a full-time job, lots of things to do, and you don't have too much time for your side hustle, or however you call this, take it slowly. Learn about Medium, learn about writing. 2 months later, get into email marketing. Ask yourself how you can get started. Okay. Next question. What do you think about the Medium challenges? I don't think anything about them, to be honest. I think it was a one-time thing. I don't know if they're going to do this continuously. I think it's not going to be a sustainable thing for Medium. I don't really see how it pays into their long-term approach. I also didn't read that much about them, to be honest. Like, I just didn't pay attention to them. I thought it was a bit weird that they even did it. Honestly don't even have an opinion on that, because again, for me, it wasn't interesting, because I want to write articles that have a clear message, that communicate a clear value, and that lead people into my email list. That's my intention with every piece of content that I publish, and the Medium challenges just didn't add to that. If it's a Medium challenge with a prompt that's inspiring to you, go ahead and publish. There's nothing you can lose. But I don't think it's gonna be like a significant thing, to be honest. But I'm excited to see what it's gonna be. Does it make sense to write articles for the Medium weekly prompts right here? I think it's more of a fun thing. I think all these prompts are nice to inspire writers. And again, it's actually really cool to see that Medium is encouraging writers to write more, for example, through these prompts, because, writer's block, or not knowing what to write, is actually a really common problem for a lot of writers. And with these prompts and challenges, Medium is trying to get more people to write more, which is a really cool sign for all of us, right? Because it means they want people to write and publish. But I don't think that these types of articles are going to be the well-performing ones, to be honest. So nice sign from Medium, but I wouldn't focus on them. I would focus on growing your expertise, focus on your niche, write about the things that truly matter to you and where you can actually deliver value, and grow your audience in a niche topic as much as possible. If I self-publish on Medium, can I post the same story on another publication that exists on Medium? No, you cannot publish the same story twice, but even if you self-published, you can send the story to a publication. So most publications don't want that. Most publications want fresh content. But if you published it without knowing that publications exist, you can give it a try, and small or new publications often accept it. Just the big ones won't. But you're not allowed to publish the same piece on your profile and in a publication. So don't do that. Interesting question. So Zafar asked, I always feel like I'm providing value to the readers while writing, but I'm mostly proved wrong after publishing the piece. How exactly should I work on this? The answer to this will be different depending on what exactly you write, but one thing to ask yourself, is this the advice you're giving? If you're writing about advice, and as far as I know, you are writing advice articles, is it actionable? Is it, if somebody reads your article, A, do they feel inspired to take action? And B, do you tell them what to do? Like, is it possible for them to make a change and take action after reading this post? That's not a full answer. It's a lot more than that. And you are actually going to learn a lot about it inside the Medium Writing Academy. I believe it's in module 3. So you still have 1 or 2 weeks until you are in this module. You will learn a lot about it inside the Medium Writing Academy. So yeah, just stay curious, be open to learn that, but being actionable and the advice you give is one of the points. And apart from that, if you are writing about the same topics over and over again, try to do a bit of research about your audience. There are lots of different places you can do that on. Inside the Medium Writing Academy, I teach a lot about that, on how you can find out more about your audience. So far, you will learn all of that. Just be a bit patient, or if you want to access the content earlier on, just drop me a message and you can get early access to all of the modules too. But you can go to other articles with a similar topic and look at the comment section, for example. The comment sections tell you a lot about your readers. You might not get comments yet if you don't have a lot of views, but other people are probably writing about similar topics, and you can go into their comment sections and just look at it. Why do people comment on their content? What do they comment? That's one of the things. Most people will not do that. Most writers will not make the effort to do that kind of research, but it's like the information is there and people are telling you why they read a certain article, why they enjoy it or not. Like, go to one of my articles and read the comments, and you will understand why people read my content or why it resonates with them. And there are surely also negative comments in my articles. They will tell you what people didn't enjoy. And I know that my content is not for everyone. That's perfectly fine. So never try to produce content or write articles that are for everyone. If it's for everyone, it's for no one, honestly. Comment section on Medium, but also comment section everywhere else. Like, you can also go onto the comment section of YouTube or look on Quora. What are the questions people are asking? What are the answers people are giving? Most people on the internet are not commenting. Most people are silent. They read, they don't even like. Also in our group, you can see that a lot of people read, but they never comment. But the people who do comment actually give you a lot of valuable hints. What's also really cool on Medium is that you can see the highlights, right? So you can always see the top highlights in articles. This is also an important hint. What are people highlighting? Why are they highlighting what they are highlighting? These are the things that you should pay attention to. All right, so I think we have one or two more questions. Final round. Does it make sense to republish Medium articles on Vocal? Publishing it on Vocal is a lot about external discoverability. So it only makes sense if you get a lot of SEO traffic to it, and if the article is written in a way that it makes sense SEO-wise. If that's not the case, you are going to struggle to get views on Vocal. That's pretty much the main thing to know. So if it's not SEO optimized, and if people are not going to find your article through Google search, you're probably going to struggle to get discovered on Vocal. Yeah, that's actually it. I think there's not that much to share about that. What's interesting about Vocal is their writing challenges, because that's where, that's probably where Medium got inspired to make writing challenges. They are doing so Vocal is doing a lot of writing challenges. If you're looking for inspiration, or if you're new to the writing world, you can try that. But republishing wise, you're likely not going to get a ton of views if it's not optimized for Vocal. Okay, publication question. I'm looking forward to creating and running a publication. How should I make sure the good quality that gets the publication followed by plenty of writers and readers? A good publication is full of good articles. There's literally nothing else that you can do there are things you can do, but at the end of the day, the quality of the publication is based on the quality of the articles. Zafar, for you specifically, because I know you're in the Medium Writing Academy, don't create the publication yet. Wait for the publication module inside the Medium Writing Academy, because I'm going to tell you a lot of reasons why you should probably not start a publication. Starting and running a publication is a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and effort. And most people start publications for the wrong reasons. So wait for the module inside the Medium Writing Academy so you can be really sure if you want to start a publication. Because I am actually sure that, for 99% of the writers, starting an own publication doesn't make sense, and it's just a waste of time. Okay, final question. How can Medium writers repurpose their articles for the Quora partner program now? We have done that. So I think around 50% of my email list is through Quora. So we've grown it through Quora. You will not see a lot of my Quora profile, but it's my partner Philip who did our Quora spaces and grown our spaces. You can repurpose your articles in a way that you answer relevant questions through your content and use snippets of what you have already written and then link back to your original article if that's what you want to do. The monetization on Quora works through different levels though. So we will actually probably be creating a lot of content on that. As I said, because we have the experience and we have grown our Quora spaces significantly. This is one way. So one way, or the main thing on Quora is answering questions, right? And you can basically have a look at your niche and find questions that are answered in your articles. That's not always going to be easy depending on your niche, but if you have answers in your articles, you can basically use those articles to republish them on Quora, but it's honestly not a copy-paste thing. So it's really cool, again, that Quora has introduced the partner program, that it's now possible to monetize your writing and your skills and your knowledge on one more platform. But with Quora, it's not going to be a copy-paste thing. So it's not going to be you take your Medium article, copy-paste it to Quora and make a lot of money. It's really a totally different place. It's a totally different language. It's a different audience. And it's going to take you time to figure out what the audience on Quora is actually looking for. We have actually created a separate group for writing on Quora just because we want to keep things clean and clear for everyone in the group. So if you're interested in the Quora Partner Program, join us in the, I think it's called Quora Writers Mastermind. There we're going to discuss more of that in the coming weeks. So you're invited to join us there. I will put the link in the comments. Okay, one last question. I know I said this before, but this is actually probably valuable for a lot of people. If I'm writing about myself, my life, how do I provide value in that particular area? Really important question. You can write about yourself, but you need to ask yourself what's in it for the reader. A story about yourself is harder to write because most people end up writing diary entries, and nobody wants to read your diary entry. There are, I would say, two main ways to provide value if you are writing about yourself. One is really hard, and I'm going to start with that one. The first way is that you have such a strong way of writing that you are telling or that you're writing what a lot of people are thinking. It's hard to understand, I know, but this is particularly true when you're writing about things that are really hard to talk about. Think of something that a lot of people go through, but they are afraid of talking about it. This is, for example, for relationship stuff, when you've been cheated on or you have gone through a really difficult phase in your time and you have had really strong emotions and you really struggled and you're putting all these emotions into an article. And if you have such a nice way of communicating that it resonates with a lot of people, you're going to provide value just because people will say, God, I had the same feelings, but I never put it into words. And this is the hardest way of doing it. I don't know a lot of people who are doing this successfully on Medium, because most people end up sharing, okay, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. And they just tell a story, but without an actual storyline, without excitement, and without value. That's not how it works. Emotional writing in that sense is way harder. It's harder to learn, and it's just really also very vulnerable. In that case, you really, talking about all the difficult things, and you only win your reader when you talk about things that are hard to talk about and do that in a way that it's still engaging. And I believe that's also a type of writing that's really hard to learn. The easier thing is to package those life lessons into actionable pieces of advice. So again, let's take relationship advice as an example. You can talk about what has happened to you and how you learned something, but at the end, give your reader, 3 sentences, 2 sentences, and tell them how they can use that story of yours to have a better relationship or to better manage that situation in their lives. Use the story you have as your strength, as a way to build a relationship with the reader, but give them actionable advice at the end or in the beginning. Tell them first, this is a problem a lot of people go through. This is how you can do it differently. By the way, here's a specific situation where I did it differently and how it worked for me, or how you have done it wrong and why you have done it wrong. So you can talk about yourself and your experiences, but wrap it up in a way that it's still about the reader. Talk about yourself so that it's even more valuable for the reader. So don't talk about yourself to talk about yourself, but talk about yourself as a way to make the lesson easier for your reader to understand. All right, I know that's not, super easy, especially if you're new to writing. I know there is a lot that you need to learn and practice over that learning growth when you're new to this. But again, Zafar, you're inside the Medium Writing Academy. You will learn way more about it inside the Academy anyway, but these are the 2 ways. So either being really open and honest about the hard stuff and talking about that so that your audience says, oh, wow, that's something that I felt as well, but I wasn't able to properly communicate that or put it into words. And the other thing is, okay, this is what I went through. This is how you can do it better. This is how you can avoid my mistakes. This is what you can do in order to save your time, etc. All right, that was the final question. Thank you for joining this live. So if you've been here live, thank you a ton for your time and for your trust. This has been really fun. I hope that you got a lot of value out of it. If you are watching the replay and if you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comment section as well. I will go through the comments and answer them in the next few days. And I will be live again on Friday, so check the events tab of the group. We will have 2 more sessions on Friday and then next week again. And I'm really excited about these 2 as well. So if you can make it, make sure to join me live, or in case you cannot make it, there will be a live, or there will be a recording anyway. All right. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for the beautiful comments. Have an amazing rest of the day and amazing rest of the week. And I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.